Yo, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another artifact build guide. Today we'll be looking at one of the three new weapons with the Oakveil update, which is the Daggers. And of course, the Dagger artifact is the Wraithblades. Now this new artifact has been imbued with illusion magic, as you can see. The Wraithblades being very centered and focused around Weaken and Phantasm, which we're incorporating with some of our spells here. We'll get into that a bit later, but they're really fun, really strong, and pretty versatile in what you can do with them. So here are the spells we're going to be running. Looking at the Veil first, the dash of choice is going to be the Veil of Illusion. Now the reason for this is when you're jumping around, we don't have the double dash anymore with the Chaos, right? So this illusion jump, you can obviously snap back. You jump forward, snap back. You can use this in addition to the Dagger E, which is what a lot of this build is revolving around, to reposition 2 different times, catch your enemies off guard in some instances, and get that snap back on your daggers with the E, using the Veil of Illusion. Sticking to the illusion tree for our first spell of choice, it's going to be Mistrance. The importance of having a counter just in any scenario can't be understated, but the fact that you get your Q reset, the cooldown refreshed, allowing more daggers, allowing another iframe, allowing more uptime with your damage is pretty insurmountable. And our second spell slot of choice is going to be in the Frost magic tree, and we're actually going to be looking at Frost Bat. Now you can use Frost Barrier, any of the really frost moves. You can use Cold Snap, for example. But I find the Frost Bat probably the best tool to use for this build, because you're going to be trying to keep yourself at a distance. You've already got one counter in Mistrance. So using the Frost Bat, having a long range tool to stun them, or to freeze them rather, is I think is a lot more valuable than having another defensive option here. And finally, in a similar fashion, we're going to be using the Merciless Charge as our ult. Provides a stun so that we can get those daggers pulled back using your E for free. Also going to be looking at passive abilities. Similar to the Duels, it's quite flexible in what you use. I would be using only really this flowing sorcery from the 2 available illusion. We don't really get much healing with this build. So the cooldown rate and the chance not to consume a Phantasm is going to help us. So we'll use that for the Elemental Awakenings. Also, Chill Weave. Breaking the Freeze with a damaging attack triggers a Frost Nova. We can use that. We can utilize that. That's great. The other one, Cold Soul, not so much. We're not really using many spells here. The only spell, or the damaging spell we're using, is the Frostbat. So this could work, you know, with your second Frostbat that you've lined up. But since we're using a defensive Mistrance, this is not going to be really applicable here. And then for your passives, you're just using as much cooldown, damage, and movement speed as possible. That's about it. Now looking at the jewels used, I don't want to have a definitive set of stats for each jewel. Now that we've got the big passive system with the new update, and we've got a lot of different options for jewels and stats and how they intertwine, I want to make it a little bit more flexible. So I'm just going to hover over each of them, just so you see what I'm sort of using and been running with. But these can be changed for whatever you want to use them with. Alright, now onto our armor. We're going to be using the Dracula's Shadow set, as well as Unyielding Charger for our Amulet. The Amulet's pretty straightforward. We're using it for the movement speed. The Dracula set, pretty straightforward. Movement speed, physical damage. That's what we're looking for and what we're wanting out of this dagger build. Okay, so now onto the weapons. Now, the weapons I find that's going to be really good to use with these daggers. First is going to be the axes. The next really good use of a weapon to switch in between is the pistols. Obviously for the E iframe, you have, it's similar to the slashes and pistols. You've got the Q on your daggers for the iframe. You also have the E on your gun for the other iframe. And finally, we've got also the mace. This is going to be really good to set up something like this. Just a free attack that you get using the in-cap. We'll go through some combos with all these weapons shortly. And for our blood type, we'll be using Rogue Blood mixed with the Warrior Blood. And then we've got the coating. The coating we're going to be using is the Frost coating. This is super important. Once you've put the Frost coating on, I'll show you in a second here. You can actually use this as part of a combo. So this is also why we're using Frostbat. So when you're attacking, because of the coating, they've already got the debuff on them that you can allow to be frozen. So you attack once, Frostbat, they're stunned. Now you can press E, big damage. And with that very bread and butter combo, that's going to bring us to our weapon combos. First one I want to show you is, it's interchangeable. You can go Dagger Q, slow them into Axe E, get the stun. That will allow you to order them as well after that. So look at that again. So Dagger Q, Axe E into Dagger auto attack. It also works with Axe E into Dagger Q. Gets a free Dagger Q there. Next one is going to be with the mace. Now you've got two options when someone's in your face. If you've got your jump and your defensive ability down, you can either, you got three really. You can use your Q, your daggers, iframe, you'll dodge whatever they're doing to you. You can use your E, as I said before, but also, if they're coming up to you and they're right next to you, you can actually just E them, switch, attack. You get a free attack off. And because it's such a slow projectile, for the most part, it's quite valuable having someone incapacitated, stunned, or frozen to actually be able to land it consistently. So just in summary, with the Wraithblades, we're utilizing a bit of a split of illusion and frost magic spells to be able to kite, CC, and get the max damage we can on our Dagger E pullback. For a better understanding of how this build works and how it functions in actual PvP, 1v1, 1vx, have a look at the next clips I've got, just some duels I've had on this server on the V Arena. Check it out, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.